This is Noel Tate from the rock band Leader and Trapped in a World, the Howard the Duck podcast, and you're listening to Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, host of a Totally Turtle sports and gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing news. No laughing matter this week. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is...
Hello, I'm Kristen.
And that's right, today we'll be talking part one of our two-part Joker's Last Laugh special. From Joker's Last Laugh 1 through 3 and Nightwing 62. From the year 2001.
Wow. Dang. That's a long time ago.
I know. I always think of stuff after the year 2000 as like the newer stuff, but I mean, that's over 20 years ago. Oh.
Yeah. I know. I've got students in my classes younger than this comic.
I know. Does that make you feel old when you realize, oh yeah, there's people who were born after 9/11?
Yeah. I mean, I was in high school when this comic came out, and I'm not anymore.
I wasn't. All right. So, yeah. Oh yes, but yeah, like I said, I was telling you offline. Yes, the last issue of Batman Urban Legends comes out this week. I think there's a few Nightwing stories in it. Although the last issue, when it came out, there was a Nightwing story. It is pretty good. It's continued, so yeah, it'll be the second part of that one. And then there was a Batman story at the end that's been ongoing, but Dick was in it. It's a weird time travel thing where somebody's like has been bringing people from the past. So like Thomas and Martha Wayne were like thrown into the present, and Damian got to meet them and everything. And no, the only thing that might you might like about it is in the last part of this, last issue's story, Bruce is like thinking to himself about the family, and he's thinking about Dick and about how Dick is like the soul of the family and stuff. And yeah.
Oh yes, it's a catnip to me.
I mean, I don't think he literally thought the words "Dick is the best of us," but it was pretty much the tone of his thoughts. Is Dick is pretty much the best of us.
Oh, very sweet. Did he have nice things to say about all his kids though?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Again, it was just in his head, so it wasn't like he was making a big.
I know, but since we're seeing his thoughts, I want him to be a good dad to everyone.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get to some.
So far, have you been having a swinging and groovy New Year, Phil?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Lots of good stuff. They didn't really get any Nightwing gifts, unless you count the chair, which is the color scheme. But did you get any Nightwing gifts?
I think so, but I haven't gotten them yet.
Oh, that's right.
My Christmas is delayed.
Yeah, that's good. Spread out those gifts. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can appreciate them more, if you don't get them all at once.
That's right. Now that I'm old, I can wait. If I were a little kid, I'd be like, no!
I don't know, man. I don't get my grandfather his lottery tickets, man. He's, come on.
He's not having it, eh?
Exactly.
Christmas wouldn't be diggity dank without them.
And I was going to say, and it's no longer a secret. Yes, my son got a PlayStation 5, and we were playing a little Gotham Knights. It's decent. Like I told you, you do some detective work in the beginning, and get the fight. We were fighting some guys as Dick Grayson, Nightwing. So
yeah, I watched the kind of family cutscenes on the YouTube, and that was good. Like I said, as someone who doesn't really play video games, I thought the characters looked pretty good, actually really good in their costumes, but I thought they looked a little bit weird when they were just at home.
Yeah. I
mean, and I think that's just, and I think that just has to do with the nature of video game animation. I thought that the way video games are, they look much better as heroes than as just regular people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the whole thing. I mean, pretty much mostly video game graphics have improved, but I see people online saying, "Oh, the graphics aren't as good as other games that, newer games." But I mean, I don't think they're too shabby.
No, they're definitely good. I just felt like they looked a little more Uncanny Valley when they were not in their hero outfit than when they were in their hero outfits.
Yeah. Kid, some of us are so old. Me and Lilith were talking the other day about Duck Hunt. Remember Duck Hunt for Nintendo? That damn dog would laugh at you if you missed.
Yeah, I mean, he left me all the time. I'm pretty terrible at video games.
All right. Sorry, I just had to log into my DC Universe Infinite because I believe it kicked me out because it renewed. So I do that with my Marvel stuff too. All right. So I believe I have synopsis. So do you want to do this? All right. I think it goes Joker's Last Laugh #1, then the Nightwing issue, then Joker's Last Laugh 2 and 3.
So it's kind of so I went to the app and I brought up the storyline Joker's Last Laugh.
Yeah.
And the way they did it, they said in the listing it was 1, 2, and then Nightwing was in there, and then 3. But when you read 2, they're like, "Oh, this was in Nightwing 63 or 62 or whatever number it was." And I was like, "Then why didn't you put it ahead of that?" So to be honest, it doesn't really matter where you read the Nightwing one because it's not that.
Yeah.
It's honestly not that essential.
I mean, they're pretty close, but yeah, I think in the Nightwing issue, they show him showing up at the slab, and then at issue 2, he's already there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he shows up at the slab at the end of issue 1.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the beginning of issue 2, he's like through the corridor. And so the Nightwing issue is him getting from where he started to the end of the corridor.
Yes. Wait a minute. Again, it's weird because in 2, they show him like breaking into the slab, but then it's like, yeah. Okay, so, all right, however we want to cover this, but all right. I know the issue, Last Laugh issue 1 comes first.
Yes, so let's start there.
All right, so Joker Last Laugh #1 from December 2001, Part 1, Stir Crazy. Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty wrote this. Penciler Pete Woods, inker Andrew Pepoy, colors Tom McCraw, and letterer Willie Schubert. Editors Matt Idelson and Nachi Castro. The penciler Pete Woods, that name sounds familiar. I think he was drawing Tim's book for a while, maybe. So,
maybe.
Yeah. In the slab, a prison doctor informs the Joker that after a brain scan, they found he has a malignant tumor and is going to die. After going through the 5 stages of grief, all in less than 5 minutes, the Joker starts a massive prison riot in his cell block, releasing loads and loads of dangerous supervillains. Despite the best efforts of Chief of Security Shiloh Norman and his team, the Joker is able to break into the maximum security wing by repetitively murdering Multi-Man until he develops the necessary powers. Black Canary attempts to reach Oracle, but finds that Barbara is, for once in her life, taking a much-needed break from her duties on a date with longtime on-off boyfriend Dick Grayson. Instead, with the help of Blue Beetle, she decides to enter the prison herself covertly to help put a stop to the madness. Eventually, the Joker and his crew are cornered and the SWAT team gasses them. But as the rest of the group convulses, the Joker revealed he had planned the entire ordeal, and the gas used by the prison guards was actually the final ingredient he needed to complete a special brand of his venom that's been infecting the other inmates with. As the gas clears, it is revealed that every single supervillain involved in the riot has been Jokerized, turned into bleached, grinning, and insane versions of their former selves. So that's issue 1.
So obviously I mostly focus on the stuff that Dick was in, and so one thing, knowing now, I kind of forget exactly what happens. I just remember, like, spoiler alert, but it's been 20 some years, Dick beating the Joker to death and then the Joker being revived at the end. So that was interesting. I thought some of the stuff that's happening before, but I just kind of wanted to say that And a little bit frustrates me that they had this happen while Barbara is taking a tiny bit of time off, because that's just so like, it just emphasizes, it's just not healthy. I mean,
the one time she takes off, and this happens.
Yeah, so now it's like, oh, you can never take time off, like you can't have a life. It's personally, I mean, it's just going to make her feel that much more guilty. And of course it's, a little bit, is she going to blame Nightwing? And it's, it's not, I just was kind of frustrated that they did that. And that they were presenting it, the whole time she's talking like, I can't help but, I have to know what he's doing. And it made me,
Yeah. And
so that was kind of frustrating, because that is not, I realized that we're not supposed to be reading this kind of stuff and taking life lessons from it necessarily, but that's not healthy for Barbara, the character, and it's also not healthy for people in the real world to be like, oh, I can never take time off because look what happened when Barbara, the Joker, busted out. I was like, why did it have to be like this?
And it's just such a plot device, because it's, I know it's 2001, but don't you think there's some device that would send her a signal and be like, oh yeah, there's like a, a 5-alarm alert going off on that computer, something bad's happening. Or if nothing else, if Dick really wanted to put her mind at ease, he could have been like, hey, Tim, can you watch for the night?
Like, why doesn't she have a pager that...
That's what I'm saying. And at least alert her that something's going on that computer, or ask someone. Hell, Black Canary was ready to storm the slab. Why don't you like, can you watch the computer for a night?
Yes. So that just kind of...
Again, plot device.
Right. But that just kind of frustrated me, that the plot device was Barbara, who overworks herself, takes time off, and something terrible happens. I was like, come on. Can't she catch a break? I was like, that annoyed me.
Yes. And don't plan date night, Dick. Whenever, just that one time most of the Justice League is away.
So, that, of course. The other thing, knowing that Dick beats the Joker to death in, I don't know, issue 6, 5, I don't know, coming up next week. I did think it was interesting how they have Barbara talking about it so much. And he's like, we don't do revenge. She's like, we don't. Oh, it's not revenge so long as you don't kill.
Oh yeah. Massive heaping amounts of foreshadowing. Yes.
Right. And it also feels kind of, I'll be interested. Like I said, I kind of forget I know vaguely, but I don't remember all the details. I'll be interested to see how it plays out, because the way they're doing it here, it feels like Barbara should be the one to beat the Joker to death.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That. But once again, I don't know if they wanted to put that on her, or it just, it's Dick. Not only it's like, he thinks Tim's dead, and he's like, that's 2 Robins on the Joker's tab there, and it's like, let me kill him so Bruce doesn't have to do it, so Barbara doesn't have to do it. That's him taking the bullet again. It's like, let me take this guilt.
Right, yeah. The foreshadow. It's honestly getting a little heavy-handed if you know what's up, which of course you don't. Also, though, and again, I think this is in one of the interview. It might be in the interview he did for the book. But I think Chuck Dixon's been asked about this, and I think he was kind of like, I wanted the Joker to get beaten to death, and I'm not sure that he was like super thinking it through as like who to make the most. It was like, oh, I can't have Batman do it, so I have to have somebody else do it. I don't know if he was, because to be honest, fans are much more concerned about, is this in keeping with the character and canon and all that kind of stuff than the authors are, because if the authors were as concerned about it as we are, I think they'd never be able to write anything.
Yeah. Did it have to be a Bat family member? Because there's plenty of other characters who could have killed the Joker.
Right. And and maybe a bit of, but I'm also, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, because I also feel as though, I mean, I know Barbara's, generally in the watchtower or whatever, but just because she's in a wheelchair, I mean, that doesn't mean she couldn't be the Joker.
Oh, no, yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen it anyway. Yeah, but I was kind of like, oh, dang, this is getting a little heavy-handed.
Or maybe once again, it's like, that even the best of us, Dick Grayson, can be, driven to that.
Right, yeah. It also feels like maybe he knew that, okay, this is the person that I'm going to have, so we have to be talking about it a bunch, so it's in his head. His resistance is being worn down, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they go, and of course, I feel like I've been gone a week, not just a day. I said you needed the rest. And of course, they go in, the alarm, and it's Joker.
Yeah, and the guy at the prison, that Shiloh Norman, I'm not 100% familiar with him, but I do know he was trained by Mr. Miracle, world's greatest escape artist. So, guess they put a guy in charge of this supervillain prison. Someone who knows all about his escape artistry. So it's just like, hey, no one's going to escape.
Natural.
All right.
And then is it in that one where Batman says it's not likely to be pessimistic, Nightwing, or is that in issue 2?
Might be issue 2, yeah, because I don't think. Okay. Yeah, because we don't see Batman until the last page of issue 1.
Okay.
All right.
So that was it for me with the first one.
All right. So what should we do next? Last Laugh number 2 or Nightwing 62?
I don't care. You pick.
All right.
I honestly don't have that much to say about Nightwing 62. It was like he beats his way down the hallway at the end.
I know. All right. Let's do Nightwing 62, then get it out of the way. All right.
Okay.
All right. Nightwing 62, also December 2001. Joker Last Laugh, Midnight Madness, a Last Laugh jaunt. This one written only by Chuck Dixon, penciler Staz Johnson, inker John Lowe, colorist Gregory Wright, letterer Willie Schubert, and editor Michael Wright. Nightwing makes his way inside the slab to try and find the Joker, haunted by unpleasant memories of his previous encounters with the Madman. The Joker has transformed numerous supervillains into his own likeness, and Nightwing soon encounters some of these. Meathead, Riot, and Leather. He's able to deal with them fairly quickly, though his encounter with Meathead is somewhat disgusting. Rancor watches this and rushes off to warn the Joker that Nightwing is on his way. The Joker is unconcerned. He's got more important things to worry about, like a whole lot of people to kill. Yeah, again, this is, basically a whole comic of a Daredevil-style hallway fight scene, yes. But what did you think?
I mean, it was fine, but it's...
Again, if anything, it suffers from, we have to be part of a crossover.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because it was a completely unnecessary issue.
Yeah. And again, sometimes, it's part of a crossover, and I think... Well, they had a plan, so it's probably like Dell Chuck Dixon. It's like, okay, this has to take place. You can't go past issue 2, so it's like you have to set this on the slab. It can't go past the slab, so yes, like I said, that's.
But yeah, let's see. So I think I might have read. So is it in Nightwing?
Let's see.
I forgot to take pictures of the. Is it in Nightwing 62 where he's thinking about how the Joker hurt Barbara, or is that in part 3?
Well, yeah, we get those flashbacks. You remember how he's like, the Joker was, sometimes he was just like a prankster, and then, next time he's like, he's like all the other rogues had like their MOs, but the Joker was always different every time and stuff. And then he's like, but then he started getting rougher, and then he's thinking about how the Joker crippled Barbara, and then you get to the when he confronts Bruce about Jason's death. This is the one where in that original suit, Dick's yelling at Bruce up the stairs, "Answer me, damn you!" Which, I mean, I know he was upset when Jason died, but it kind of seemed out of character to me.
Yeah, at least tell me the Joker bought it. Yeah, actually, the thing I thought was weird was Alfred in this. How Alfred was like, I seem to where he's like, he can't keep recruiting cannon fodder, and Alfred's like, I seem to recall you were a willing participant. That was different, was it? Mm-hmm. I knew the odds. I begged to understand. Like, to me, honestly, it seems like if Dick is like, he has to stop recruiting cannon fodder for his war, I feel Alfred would be like, yeah, you're right, because I think I don't know. I guess I always picture Alfred as he goes along with it once he knows that, like, I'm not going to be able to stop Bruce from doing this. I'm not going to be able to stop Dick from doing this. But I don't know. And to be honest, the Alfred bits felt the weirdest to me in this one.
I mean, I could excuse the Alfred stuff just because I think it was kind of like, hey, Bruce is beating himself up enough about Jason's death. You don't need to, pile on, the Master's going to flog himself with that for a long time. Yeah, don't worry, But no, it just seems so weird because just the anger coming from Dick, because like you read those Titans issues, it's Bruce who has the anger, not Dick.
Right? Yeah.
Dick might come in and be like, what happened, and then it's when in those Titans issues, it's Bruce who flips out and says, "Don't you question it? Don't question me." But yeah, most of these villains I was not familiar with, except for what's his name, Riot, who is like a '90s Superman villain. He basically cloned himself.
Then the only other one I thought was kind of funny when one of the Jokers was like, tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
Another one says, I'm going to pull the tendons out of Pretty Boy here.
I do love when Dick takes out Riot. I love that panel at the bottom of the page where it's like, you're the only the real you's holding the gun, idiot.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that panel, him standing over him.
But yeah, I guess mostly in that one, I thought it was good that they had him, go and see Barbara, because that was an interesting retcon, because when she was shot, it was kind of in it was not in the regular comics, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, the Killing Joke was its own thing. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't think they even had a plan to make it in continuity until it became popular. And then someone wrote it into a comic that, then it became continuity. So like time had passed between when it happened and when the regular comics actually acknowledged it. So, yeah. And again, it's like, is it like the Jason thing? Were the Titans away? Was he busy? I mean, I knew he would drop anything, but it's like if he's on another planet, he really, can't hop on a flight.
Yeah.
And again, we've had so many retcons even by this point. It's like he could have been there. Yeah. Which we kind of see in that panel.
But hey, at least in this retcon, Bruce didn't hit Dick. That's good.
I know. Well, in the actual Nightwing issue, we really don't see them. Well, in the flashbacks, we see them together. But
right, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah. But it's so weird because it's like the Joker's like, "Oh, it's Nightwing. Oh, you mean the Junior Batman?" It's hard to keep, tell them apart. I'm like, I don't know. Joker seems kind of fixated, especially on the Robins. It's I know he doesn't know the real names at this point, but it's just like, I think he knows. Oh, that's Robin 1. I killed Robin 2.
Yeah, but he could also be saying that kind of stuff just to get at them. Like, you're all interchangeable to me. I don't really care about you as individuals, etc., etc.
I love how Joker's like, what did I ever do to him? I'm thinking, shot him in the shoulder. Killed his brother.
Just generally be a pain in the ass.
Killed one brother, tried to kill the other one. Yeah.
Well, he hasn't tried to kill the other one yet, has he?
Well, Tim, in the Robin 2 miniseries, Bruce is out of town and Tim has to take him down himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we kind of tried to kill him.
I feel like it's like Joker. Obviously, you're a bad guy who's done tons of bad stuff. We don't need you to personally do anything. Like, obviously, we're going to be mad at you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the gag, too, that he's so insane. It doesn't register that, oh, hey, I tried to kill most of their family. Oh, why are they so mad at me?
Yeah. I didn't kill you, so why are you mad? Why is it serious?
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get the last?
All right. Back to Joker's back to the main story.
Yes. All right. So, man, hold on. What did I do? Like zoomed in on the cover. All right. Joker's Last Laugh, number 2, also December 2000. Okay, this might have been a weekly thing. All right.
Oh, interesting.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. It might have been Siege Mentality. Yeah, same writers, Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty. Penciler, Marcos Martin. Inker, Mark Farmer. Alvaro Lopez. Colorist, Tom McGraw. Letterer, Willie Schubert. Editors, Matt Idelson and Nachi Castro. All right. Oh, come on. Okay, I don't have a synopsis for this one. Okay. I hate when they do that. They'll do synopsis for one and not the other. All right. All right, let's walk through this one.
I mean, they're trying to get in the slab. I only screen capped one page, which was Batman. I think 2 or 3 inmates capable of creating a localized black hole. You hope it's localized. It's not likely to be pessimistic, Nightwing. Yeah, well, this time I have some cause to see the glass half empty. It's like, I think, that last page. I don't think he's in this one as much, is he?
Who, Nightwing?
Yeah.
Well, remember they do that whole thing where they like show walking down the hall, and then, well, here in the beginning, like he's talking to Barbara as he like gets out his little bad copter and copters over to the slab.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the Joker's like still Jokerifying inmates, and like the people who work at the slab are trying to get a. Oh yeah, remember because again, what is this, page 14, where he's walking down the hall and he's like he's like, oh, I made my way through blocks A through G barely, and it says, oh, see Nightwing 62 for that story.
Right. Yeah.
And he walks in the H block, and it looks like the Justice League all defeated, and he thinks he sees Wonder Woman, but it's really Lady Spellbinder.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And she kisses him and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she makes him looks like he sees a huge Batmite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she does kiss him, but yeah, it's when Batman grabs her and decks her.
Yes. No, it's when they're reunited.
Yes. Because there was an original Spellbinder, but yes, during Underworld Unleashed, Neuron gave her powers. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a thing. Like she actually has like powers. Like she doesn't need any machinery or anything to create illusions. It's just. But yeah, that's when Batman decks her and fills Dick in about Joker's running the show. Hundreds of guards are dead. Most of the cons are out of their cells. Dick, they're all Jokerized. But yeah, Batman said this is probably a cover for something bigger Joker has planned. They take Lady Spellbinder with her. Oh, and then Black Canary was real. The rest of the Justice League wasn't. But yeah, that's when she's like, we gotta get out of here. He has something bad planned for the slab. And that's when, which inmate is this? But yeah, they basically create a black hole and suck the slab into it. Batman and the others get out. Thanks to Blue Beetle, who's hovering in the bug above. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just... Yes, the Joker kind of transported the slab somewhere. Batman, Nightwing, and the others get out. Oh, and that's when Black Canary tells him, oh yeah, the Joker has an inoperable tumor. He's dying. They're just like, that means all bets are off. So Joker's trying to get serious now.
Yep, the glass is half empty.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, because Joker and a bunch of the inmates escape, but then...
Weirdly, given what comics is as a genre, fight scenes and stuff are not my favorite part, so I don't pay as much attention when we got the fight going on.
And it wasn't even that much of a fight, a lot of fights, a lot of it's just like Joker, like scheming and getting away and stuff, and... Yeah. All right. Would you like to get to number 3 then?
Yes.
All right. Because now the whole world gets to have this fun. All right. There's my link. Joker's Last Laugh, number 3. December 2001. Yeah, this must have been a weekly thing. Part 3, Lunatic Fringe. About the same team, but penciler and inker's Walter McDaniel.
Yeah, the art looks different. It's definitely different.
Yeah, I think they had a couple different arts, but I'm saying Walter McDaniel. I wonder is he any relation to Scott McDaniel? I'm trying to look this up, but I'm not. Could be, but I don't know. All right, I'll have to look that up. All right. Short synopsis for this: as the Joker's rampage continues unimpeded, despite his troubles with controlling his followers, he decides to ensure his legacy with the aid of Harley Quinn. Harley is not on board with this plan and thus enlists Batgirl and Spoiler for help.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was messed
up. I know. Which is kind of funny because Cass and Steph have their own book now. The Batgirl's book now. So.
Yeah, they started to bring more of the Bat family into this one because this is where Tim finally shows up.
Yeah.
In this issue, too. But, yeah, that was definitely messed up. But also kind of feels very Joker-y. Yeah, the Joker wants Harley to have his baby. And thankfully Harley is no way.
Yeah, even this early on, like I think Harley's starting to see Joker, at least in the comics. Harley's starting to see Joker for like, I don't want no part of that.
Smart move.
Yeah. The Justice League gets back to the Watchtower and it's like, wait a minute, is that Madagascar and it's giving us the evil eye? Then Bruce and Dick are checking all of Joker's. I love this gag. All his haciendas.
Yes. Yeah.
Dick's like, he's got a dozen giggling teleporters in his ranks. We've got to widen the search before things get uglier. Please, for Barbara. I'm like, I don't think you really got to beg Bruce to go after the Joker.
No.
Where would you go if he only had a few months to live? Maybe someplace more. So he's on Easter Island. Vandalizing.
Yeah, because of...
vandalizing giant stone heads. Basically just has all the Joker as villains causing chaos. Oh yes, and this is also the era of President Luthor. So
yes, so he says, "Kill him."
Oh yeah, and remember, kids, even President Luthor released his taxes.
Yeah, that's because President Luthor is actually a good businessman. I mean, evil but successful.
Yeah, burn. This is evil successful.
But then near the end, you get again the intense foreshadowing. Dick's trying to say they're on top of it, and Barbara's like, "We're barely containing it. Don't babs me." And he's like, "We'll get him. I won't let Joker come between us. He already has Dick. We can pretend all we want, but he's been there all along, and he didn't have to be." Barbara's again saying, "I feel like his blood is on our hands." And Dick's trying to say, "We're not cops, we're not soldiers. How long do you think society would tolerate us if we used lethal force?" She's like, "But why not just this once?" And then that's when Tim comes in. Barbara's upset and Tim's the one that gives her a hug. I was like, Dick, why didn't you give her a hug? But I don't know, I guess it's a slightly different dynamic.
Oh yeah, we got Power Girl in this, yeah. Oh my god, I don't know if I noticed that before, but Joker had a Dominator. He Jokerized an alien.
I mean, he's really trying to spread his wings.
I guess. But yeah, no, just like Barbara, like, giving Steph and Cass like the warning. He's like, he loves to hurt Robins and by extensions Batgirls and Robin girlfriends. Yeah.
Sure.
One
thing, so I don't know. I know a lot of people really like this era. I feel like Dick and Barbara were pretty well written on their own in this era, but I don't always think the relationship was written the best. I mean, I like how the relationship is written better now by Tom Taylor. I mean, it still makes me sad that Barbara is younger, but here they're always tossing the Joker in, and they're always like, "Oh, you're 2 steps in the past. You remember me how I am. The Joker's always been between us, blah, blah, blah." I'm like,
well, it's always weird when both sides of the couple are both appearing in different books by different writers. So, was Chuck Dixon reading Birds of Prey at this point? I can't remember, but or was it Gail Simone? But yeah, I mean, when they're appearing in 2 different books, sometimes if there are 2 different writers, it's much harder.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little bit weird to me because this is the era when they first got together.
Yeah,
and Chuck Dixon wrote it, but I don't always think I don't know, the way he wrote it, it didn't always feel like a good relationship.
Again, I mean, writers sometimes, put in speed bumps for the sake of drama. And then too, remember when we talked to Devin, it's like you don't always get the green light to, keep characters together long term.
Right.
But no, I mean, it just seems so weird because it almost seems like, I don't want to say Barbara was over the whole Joker trauma, but she seemed a lot more calmer about it. And here, I mean, when she's grabbing, when Steph says they want to help, she's like, she's like, we're sick of having funerals. It's like Barbara seemed
right, and how she's like, the hatred, it claws at me from inside.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's fear or if it's just like like repressed anger, but it just seems like that we haven't seen from Barbara, in this era. But all of a sudden, it comes again. I think a lot of liberties were taken with this issue just to get plot done, especially with Dick and Barbara.
Right, yeah, it's just weird. It was like, I won't let Joker come between us. He already has, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know. It feels like they're not writing it as a great relationship, particularly because I feel like he took her out and then it's when this disaster happened. It's like, it feels like it's setting this relationship up to fail.
Exactly.
And it doesn't yet, but yeah. I mean, she even turns around and rams, or I mean, maybe that's an accident, but she hits him with the wheelchair.
Yeah, but I think it's also a point. It's like, oh, this damn chair coming between us. And again, I think even in issue 1, Dick's like, you know what? I don't care about that, you know.
That's why, I mean, I would say I feel like I like Barbara a lot, and I feel like I like Dick and Barbara together better. I think it makes more sense, but I feel like in the beginning, at least, until it all kind of started to fall apart in the 90s,
yeah.
I feel like most of the time the Dick and Corey relationship was better written.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they actually felt like a loving couple. I guess it's like they were written as we have to establish that they're a couple and we're showing how they love each other, and it was like opposites attract. So they, I don't know, Wolfman and Perez invested more in showing their showing the good part in their relationship. And this, it's almost like, oh, they're both bats. They have this long history. So I don't know. We know they belong together. So we have to focus on the bumps in their relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but I get different vibes. It just feels like they were written very differently.
Well, again, him and Corey were in the same book, you know, the same writer. They didn't have to worry about anything outside the Titans, you know.
Right. But even when they're writing, I mean, even when Dixon was writing all of the books, I don't know, he just takes a different tech for it, I guess. I don't know.
Again, drama. All right. You know, anything else on these?
No, I think that's everything. Just that, again, I know I've had a bunch of spoilers, but like we said, it's been many a year since this came out. But pretty much the only thing I remembered from Joker Last Laugh was, Dick beats the Joker to death. So going back and reading this, I was like, wow, this is kind of heavy-handed.
Exactly.
So that was mostly what I was screen capping. To take pictures of, to talk about, where I was like, wow, they're really beating on this. That how much so they're really trying to set it up so that you're not as surprised, I guess, when he does it, even though at the same time, he keeps being the one that's like, oh, we can't do that.
Yeah, but again, it's like, spoilers that, you know, towards the end, he thinks the Joker sent someone to kill Tim. So now, you know, I'm sure Barbara's words are echoing in his head. And he's like, she was right, you know?
Right. No, I know. It's just, it's interesting.
How many more family am I going to let him kill or maim, you know?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So should we stop there?
I think so. I think that about does it.
All right. So yes, next week, I don't know why I'm pulling up the schedule, but yes, next week we'll do the second half. We'll do Joker's Last Laugh 4 through 6, Nightwing 63, which is kind of an epilogue. I don't know. Should we throw there's a Tim issue, you know, the one where he seemingly gets killed. Should we throw that into, or? We don't have.
I don't care. What issue is it?
Here, let me look.
You can text me later. It's fine.
Yeah. I think it's like 95 or something. Yeah, I'll let you know. But
all right, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, just because it's deals with, oh, hey, Tim's dead, you know, kind of sort of.
Okay.
All right, but yes, kids. So yes, we'll cover that and.
Yeah. Wait, what was it? Nightwing 63, right? Because we just did 62.
Yeah, it's the next issue. Yeah, it's like the epilogue afterwards. So.
Okay, so it comes after Joker.
Yeah, it'll be the last thing you read. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and yeah, I was going to say, I'll have Batman Urban Legends, so I'll let you know about that. Kristen may pick that up. So, like I said, Nightwing's story in the first one it's like a two-parter, so maybe we can cover 22 and 23. Or like I said, I'll give you a report if nothing else. So, all right, kids. So, yes, so send us your thoughts on Joker's Last Laugh, or if you read the Batman Urban Legends, email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter, follow the Capes and Lunatics network on Hive, Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks are on Instagram. The YouTube channel, this and everything we do gets a video, so smash that subscribe button. so you don't miss any of it.
Smash it.
And of course, the Patreon, everything. Well, no, the Patreon. Like once again, we're all paying for this out of our own pocket. It's our passion project, so every little bit helps. But $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
Superhero movie brackets are over, thank God. We have got a bunch of specials coming up, and the patrons are going to send us suggestions that we can do, and we finally have a fourth patron, and for once it's someone I don't know, so thank you.
Wow.
Yes, we got a new patron.
You didn't strong arm one of your friends into it, huh?
Yeah, no. It's no one I know. So, whoever joined for around the holidays, thank you so much. I should have your name. I will write it down. But yes, thank you. We appreciate anyone who gives us money. And if you want another way, pick yourself up Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find that all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And if you're a new listener or watcher through YouTube or the podcast, and you love Nightwing, Dick Grayson, you must complete your education and pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder, the book on Amazon. If you don't know, Kristen put it together and has a bunch of interviews from creators and just a very entertaining read. So, hey, it's the book that got us together, so you must pick it up. Damn.
True.
All right, so. Because she says, you do my plug. I said, okay. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Join us next week for more laughs. Laughs.
It'll be the last laughs.
Quotation. Oh, yes. Does the Joker die of a brain tumor?
Only time will tell, but...
Spoilers, he dies.
I feel like that's kind of easy to place bets on.
Spoilers, but he doesn't die. He dies, but not from a brain tumor.
And he gets better.
Blood force trauma. And once again, yes, we'll cover some of that. So the final Batman Urban Legend stuff with Dick. So it's a good time to be a Nightwing fan. All right, but until then, join us. Same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing News. Watch out for localized black holes.
Hi, I'm Russell.
And I'm Justin.
And we're from the
Hold up. Listen up, you nerds. Tired of being a little goody two-shoes? Had enough of always talking about acts of courage and heroism? Well, you have come to the right place, I guess. Tomes of Evil is the comic book supervillain podcast, where every month we do a deep dive on a different comic book supervillain, as well as multiple sub-series on some of the most iconic foes of all time, including Darkseid, Doctor Doom, Scarecrow, and...
Name's Hobgoblin, and you're right on time for your funeral.
I better be getting paid for this. So what are you guys waiting for? Bring on the bad guys.
Tomes of Evil, a comic book